Hi there, it's Greg Archer with MovieWeb. How are you both today?
Good, Greg. How are you?
I'm good. I'm freakishly surprised by this series. It surprised me. I didn't expect what I experienced. Anna, would you say that was the same for you when it first came across your desk and you started reading it, experiencing it?
Yes, I mean every episode is so incredibly well written, and every at the end there's a cliffhanger that I did not see coming. You learn more about each character as each episode progresses. You learn more about the world, and they take things and they twist it on its head. I learned more about my character. I only signed on after reading the pilot, and I loved the pilot so much. And Matthew Scott Kane, who is an incredible creator, showrunner, he did tell me that Tracy, my character, was going to have like a big arc, and you're going to learn a lot about her. So I was very excited, and they wrote incredible stuff for me to play. So I was over the moon.
It's fun to see you play the characters you play because you played Sarah Newland in True Blood. I mean, that was fun, and then also Pitch Perfect. So, do you prefer kind of the troublemaker character or something more dramatic? What's your preference?
I don't think I think that my preference is for a complex role. So I'm normally drawn to characters that have a lot bubbling underneath the surface and women that are presenting themselves a certain way. And at first glance, you might think that they're this one certain thing. But then as the story progresses, you realize that there's a lot going on beneath the surface. And with Tracy in particular, she's actually very broken inside, and she's actually carrying around a lot of shame for who she truly is as a person. So on first glance, you might not think that. You might think she's just the kooky, religious church lady, but there's a reason for all of this. There's a reason why she's acting the way she is. And I think it evokes a lot of empathy. It evoked a lot of empathy for me as the actor playing her. And I hope as an audience member, you just you start to empathize a little bit. You still might hate her, right? But at least you get to see why she is the way she is.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Nikki, I understand you were in American Horror Story Asylum, which was one of my favorite seasons at the Briarcliff Asylum, and Jessica Lange was on that show and everything. So what is it like coming into horror again in a way? I know you were in Ventures in Babysitting with Sabrina Carpenter. What is it like for you, and how would you describe your character here, Jenny?
I was so excited to return to horror. I'm a huge fan of the genre. And I loved working on American Horror Story. I think still to this day, it's one of my favorite projects that I've worked on. And what was fun is that, my first kind of dive into horror was American Horror Story. I was playing a killer. I was like 9 years old, but I was a killer, which was fun. But this time I'm kind of on the other side of that. And a kidnapping victim, which I had never played before. Which, like Anna said, I think playing those complex, challenging roles are my favorite types. I'm sorry, you had another part to your question.
Oh, it was just basically how was it for you coming back into horror, and how would you describe your character and this series?
First of all, the series is, I would say, horror, psychological thriller, but it's also coming of age. And we see that with Faith, where her classmates kind of view her as this tightly wound Jesus freak, and Tracy, her mom, kind of has a leash on her and views her as a sinner and restricts her from, living a normal teenage life. And really, that's all Faith is trying to do. Is just trying to live out her adolescence and experience prom and high school and relationships, crushes for the first time. So I think that coming of age element, bringing into the horror psychological thriller, makes for a kind of layered. It's something I would watch for sure.
Yeah, I was thrilled with it.
Good.
So Anna, I understand you shot Hard with with your former co-star Rebel Wilson again. How,
Yes,
and
yes.
then Simon West directed it. How would you sum up that experience in a few words, and what stands out about that movie?
Oh my gosh, Brideheart is an action-packed It's the first time I did so much action. I mean, literally, there's like explosions every day on set. Rebel Wilson and I are like airlifted into the sky. I mean, like stunt after stunt. It was super fun to just be working with her again because we have such a great dynamic together and we just can improv left and right. And I really cannot wait for people to see it because it is a wild, crazy ride, I will say. Because Simon West, I mean, he directed Tomb Raider, right? So I'm running around in a wedding dress for like the whole film, basically, but with explosions.
Well, you can't beat that.
Right.
That's really good.
I had no complaints, right? Yeah.
Right. And Nikki, if there's one co-star that really stands out that you have worked with, who would that be?
Ooh. I mean, I have to give it to Anna. I think we had such a great relationship and chemistry offset that really kind of helped build a comfortability on camera to really kind of dive in and explore these super intense situations and scenes. I would have to say working with Garrett Dillahunt, again, such an honor to be working alongside these two incredible actors. And I learned so much from just watching them. And I feel like I grew exponentially as an actor just by being around them.
Oh, thanks.
I love that. I love that. That's great. Well, you two are great. The plot is great. Everything's great. So thank you so much for your time.
Yay,
Thank you
thank
so much.
you.